Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be doing a review for Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Arc Episode 36. Baby, hold your hand. Part 2. Never ending my dream. That's right. We are back to Mayuri and Pernita's fight after skipping one for the other fights, which we'll see all throughout, I'm sure. But I was very much looking forward to the conclusion of this fight. Although I remember from reading the manga, I remember what happened at the end as far as like who the victor is. I didn't remember all the details. Also, I think this has been some of the most faithful stuff to the manga, which is really fun. Like, I appreciate that Kubo actually had the time when the manga was happening to really flesh out these battles that he enjoyed, because you can just tell how much Kubo loves this character of Mayuri. So, all right, we pick up where we left off. We got a little inkling of this in the past episode. Mayuri's banka blowing up after eating Pernita, which means that Pernita's not dead. Pernita took out the bankai, and now Mayuri's unarmed. And this is where NEMU finally comes into the battle to help Mayuri as he was in danger. Now, obviously, Mayuri very much dislikes this, right? He did not order her to help, and he feels that she's disobeying his orders or just interfering where she doesn't belong. But finally, Mayuri comes to his senses, comes up with a plot to kill Pernita with some of his chemicals, anesthetic, I think he calls it, to freeze out the nerves, and includes Nemo as part of this plan. We cut to the actual title sequence, and then when we come back, as the fight is happening, we flash back to Nemu's creation, which is I'm glad that the anime is taking time to explore these little details, because a lot of the characters in Bleach, like their backstories, are so much fun. Like whether you get them from like some of the light novels or some of the little specials, or even just like the in between stuff in the manga, like some of the extra content, or even the cards in the middle of the episodes. So this is we find out that she is Nemuri number 7, the seventh iteration of this experiment of Mayuri to create a soul from nothing, which is probably one of the things that he calls his greatest achievement. We also see that she is different to all the other versions. She's better. She shows growth. She's able to learn, and I think Mayuri appreciates this. And it's really interesting because he would never tell her so, but she kind of finds out through little context from all the other people that she interacts with. We see that in Back to the Battle, Nemu steps in, and she kind of takes on the role of like the fighter, to protect Mayuri, because that's how she can show Mayuri that her growth continues. Right, that was really her mission, to continue to learn and grow. And what better way to show growth than to show like self-reliance and free will, and doing actually what you think is best in a situation. But after a large, really cool attack from Nemu, we do see that Pernita, as he's blown to pieces, regenerates and tears Nemu apart. And we get probably one of the most poignant moments with Mayuri, where he actually feels despair and is sad about what just happened to Nemo. Like she was his greatest achievement. And we get just an insane thing happening here in the sequence. I love it, because one of my favorite fights is Mayuri versus Sazaya Laporo, when during the Espada arc. He shows up in Mayuri's imagination and condemns him for believing that Nemu was perfection, because that's the thing that Mayuri scolded Sazaya Laporo about. Scientists should not strive for perfection, they should strive to keep making things better. So the fact that Nemu actually died in battle means that she wasn't perfect and he can continue his work as a scientist. So kind of that thinking back snaps Mayuri out of it. Pernita devours Mayuri because we find out, and Mayuri finds out that he evolves by consuming his enemies, like through his nerve endings. But although he does consume Nemo, Mayuri makes sure to take the cerebellum. I think it's he calls it the cerebrum, the cerebellum. Um, and Nemu has a pituitary gland that she was implanted with to help her growth, because that had been one of the things um, that was a flaw in the previous versions. But because the brain is not around. That can't regulate. So um, Pernita ends up blowing up because as he just kind of grows out of control. So that's where we come to the end of this battle. Mayuri is definitely very beat up, but the Squad 11 members show up. They take Kenpachi and Mayuri to like these healing pods, but we take those two out of the battle for now. We definitely know that Kenpachi will be back. I don't know if Mayuri has another fight later on, but instead we do get to see some characters come back. Hitsugaya and Rangiku have rejoined the battle. Very very cool. Like Hitsugaya has a quick moment where he thanks Mayuri for saving him, and probably also saving Rangiku. And then we have one final moment with Nemu and Mayuri that's just ripped straight from like I can see the manga panels. So yeah, really great. I love Mayuri. He's probably one of my favorite characters. His fights are always very very cool. I do love that whenever they add music with lyrics into an anime episode, that's when they really are going for it. Because growing up, I remember music would only be added with lyrics like that outside of the themes of the anime during the movies. So that was really cool. So yeah, there's a very poignant moment when Mayori is falling into that despair, and as Nemo is dying, that the music comes in. Like there's a song that actually comes in, and just really sets the tone for that. So that was really great. The animation was fantastic for this episode. What can I say? I think season three, core three of this Thousand Year Blood War arc is probably above and beyond stuff that we've seen. I can't wait to rewatch it. I can't wait to watch this in English. We do have an after credit scene where the Quincy that had came over with the Soul Reapers finally make it to the castle. We see that the Bambis are ambushed by some of those soldiers, the foot soldiers. I forget their name. I think this is all anime original content, just from what I've seen online. Really cool to see. So some of the Bambis are zombies, but they are all back together. Like all the girls are kind of back from the squad. And then we also see Baz B showing up to confront Hashwa. So, yeah, next episode is going to be a lot of fun. I believe we're going to get the conclusion of the other battle with Shintri and Lily Barrow. So we'll see. But then I think the end of this core is going to be Baz B and Hashwa going at it. So I can't wait to see that because, and of course the Bambis may be confronting Yuhobak. So very excited for the rest of this core. We don't have a lot of episodes left, but this season, like I said, has been amazing, outstanding. So if you are watching this, if you've seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite part is. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.